It's been 20 something hours and 2 years since you took your lover away since after a tragic death of Sinead O'Connor. If you don't know, Sinead O'Connor is once the some of the singer popularized in America was actually in Ireland. Sinead O'Connor was pop singer was Ireland. He happened to become the gone breakthrough in America and mostly like the between other acts like the Cranberries, notable the lead singer DeRollis. And no, there's nothing to do with the other Durolis is not a name for me learned from Prince, also known as the artist formerly known as Prince. But yeah, I know this pretty much Ireland was more political way, so that's what you know. Anyway, and much like Durolis for the Cranberries, Sinead O'Connor was gone. Turned for the worse. He gone become an activist about the uh, uh, that thing about the after infamous SNL performance, he got banned. But even calling Pope John Paul II to say, and then later he said she said fight the real enemy, and in eventually commercial break, and everyone most people few people clapped yeah like that was a terrible decision. I mean, and so they decided to destroy on Sinead O'Connor's albums and stuff, and eventually they become the joke. Sinead O'Connor become the one trick pony. But nevertheless, they announced that and that's why you know Sinead O'Connor remained in Ireland, but it did not much in America. Uh, but this pretty much passed away 2 years ago. But since the producers of Nothing Compares to Documentary, along with Seesaw Films, um, announced that the Sinead O'Connor biopic is in development, and according to reporting from Variety, Variety has learned that a film is in the works. Will be and tell the story about the early and career of the iconic Irish musical who died in 2023 at age 56. Behind this, the project is Irish production company IE Entertainment, which is executive produced the critical acclaimed O'Connor documentary, not to compares, and worked with the singer in the process. This released before it passed away, but in a year later, it was airing on Showtime and Paramount Plus. So alongside fellow Irish band Night Daughters, producers of The God Creatures and Lady Macbeth. The latter was the start of breakthrough young pre 2019 roles were before Midsummer, Little Women, back with it is Florence Pugh. So yeah, and Seesaw Films, producers of Soul Horses, Apple TV Plus series, and Power of the Dog, which is a Netflix film. And Night Daughters and Seesaw reunite have a previous collab on and Mononet stars King Winslet and Saoirse Ronan. So it was. I saw that and I was thinking. It reminds me like I know this isn't too similar from the another film, The Portrait of the Lady on Fire. That's complete ripoff. But I probably in similar ways. There's like the other film like came out like Promising Young Women and um, the one movie when What's Her Bike was pretty much gone. In fact, What's Her Bike was got chance to direct Emer Forel later on in Salford, but I digress. Variety reached out to Seesaw Films for cooperation without response. The film, which is understood has been in the works since 2022, is not be compared to Comic Doc is being directed by the Joseph Deck Serling, working with the script with Irish writer Stacey Gray. Night Daughter's founder followed Conan O'Reilly, and one-winning duo of Ian Clancy and Emily Sherman, no relation to the Sherman brothers that he made Mary Poppins and that small world thing I don't trust. No one cares. For Seesaw will produce as well Neil Calden, Urban Hymn, with music heavyweight Tim Clark serving as executive producer on behalf of IEE Entertainment. BBC Film is funding the film development. Now, yeah, this is going to be industry one. So I pretty much the Sinead O'Connor biopic was more like a different kind of site. Like the last time we did another music biopic was mainly between the UK and Ireland was the got Amy Winehouse biopic Back to Black. This is a stupid this is a Mother God remix reviews and Melissa Alvarez was pretty much saving grace. Like you see the in Street series on HBO Max as well as other films later on like uh, Black Bag on Steven Soderbergh's Black Bag, and as well as the upcoming highlighted reboot. So yeah, so let's continue. O'Connor became the most legendary figures in Irish cultural history and the transformation of a woman across the world. At 23, she won the Grammy for her self-help album. I do not what you haven't got. Would have spent 6 weeks on number one in the U.S. Billboard chart in the 1990, and it contained the hit single "Nothing Compares to You" and one of the biggest selling songs of the year. The album and single amassed multiple global music accolades, including the Billboard and Brit Award, while the Connor became the first woman to win MTV Video of MTV Music Video Awards Video of the Year. Alongside in her music, O'Connor was a passive campaigner, activist, and is described as a protest singer. Um, who using her platform to and denounce issues such as sexism um, in the music, business, and corrupt with the Catholic Church. During the 1992 appearance on the Saturday Night Live, and just 25 years old at the time, she famous told up the picture of the Pope John Paul II sparked a rape and controversy committed. Yeah, this is maybe the biggest controversy of the Saturday Night history since Steven Seagal hosting this show in 1991 because of it's been become the most worst host ever because that Steven Seagal was become the most hated person in Hollywood, so that's where you get shit on YouTube. The biopic Variety Hurts, we explored O'Connor's early life and the beginnings of the music industry. We looked to the tell story of one young woman from Dublin uh, took it in the world, expanding how her groomer fame may have her built her talent, but her name became synonymous with the efforts to draw attention to the crimes committed of the Catholic Church and the Irish state. For credits, yeah, for this is going to be interesting one. Not like Black to Black. This is more like more the biopic. And the other film was have a biopic was in the based on the Irish musical band was Kneecap, and it was stars Michael Fassbender. But I haven't seen the movie, but it got a good reviews. But even this is a based off the Kneecap was a political Irish band, mostly from rap, mostly a boy band. And like this is like a Irish equivalent of Rage Against the Machine. But this is not anyone to say about that. But I'm not sure the Kneecap was career has got a lot of controversy lately post Kneecap biopic movie, but you know, who knows? Full credits for the biopic include Decker as a director, Greg as a writer, and O'Reilly, Calden, Cannon, and Sherman as producers. The project is in Seesaw Films, Night Daughters, and IE Entertainment Production. IE Entertainment co-founder Claude will be excited to produce, alongside Seesaw Films joint managing director Simon Gillis and the BBC Film Commission executive Christine Aaron. Wow, this is the industry one. I hope that the Sinead O'Connor biopic was going to be better. It's not the repeat mistakes from Black to Black biopic. It was was based on Amy Winehouse, but this is going to be more like a direction between of that musical biopics. And since the Bruno Radstein came in 2018, that musical biopics has become higher. Like it's the Rocky Man, Ed Jones, Rocky Man biopic, awesome masterpiece. Later, Elvis biopic with Austin Butler. Good job, and especially great. I mean, the performance of Austin Butler was amazing, and especially and unless Tom Hanks' performance probably got mediocre at best, but got a nominee for Razzie. Seriously, I want to dance with somebody. Whitney Houston's biopic was okay, but even though it's good to remember that people saw the biopic, and then eventually to another biopics between musical biopics that year, Black to Black, as I mentioned, was pretty much mixed, and it could be a complete unknown with Tiffany Chalamet as Bob Dylan, we got a lot of praise and got an Oscar nods, but I think Tiffany Chalamet might deserve better win the Oscar, but still. But the musical biopics was become the trend. Like, and Michael Jackson biopic was done delayed to next year in April, but I have a lot of legal issues and problems, and the after the Liebe Nevernet 2 documentary debacle, but. I'm not sure that it was going to be released, but I think Lionsgate and Universal, that either handled the international distribution, had no problem that they released the movie delayed, got delayed, and financial problems. Like I mean, there's the reason the same. I mean, this movie came out the same year as the another Universal title was the Odyssey, considered known as the Odyssey, but I digress. But we're going to see if Universal might a box office hit. It's not going to be flopped, literally. Anyway, in conclusion, so yeah, I hope to see what happens. And speaking of which, I think Universal and the iHouse label Focus Features might acquire distribution rights between in America and in overseas, including UK and Ireland, of Sinead O'Connor biopic, because you can see that Universal was a parent company on NBC Universal, and NBC airing Saturday Night Live was a famous of the infamous. Sinead O'Connor performance on one episode of Saturday Night Live, including that one, including the tower part of the fight the real enemy thing. So that's not even good. Even Sinead O'Connor was pretty much a state war, and especially Lauren Michaels, executive producer of Saturday Night Live, and especially NBC excited this and a parent company NBC Universal agreed to use the a set kind of direction. It might be included scene, but who knows? Maybe Universal and Focus Features might include that scene, but maybe you will miss it in the final product. Anyway, I'm excited for Sinead O'Connell. Biopic is going to be good. Who knows? But there's no words. They casting choices, and it might be cast as, or maybe they're going to cast Sinead O'Connell in the future. But we'll see what happens in some point in 2026 or maybe 2027. They begin filming next year, so anyway, wish me luck as Seesaw and his team, and I can't wait to excited for that. So like, comment, subscribe, and ring the notification bell, and whenever, as a wise man once said, um, nine.
Fight the real enemy.
Thank you, Todd in the shadows.